And just like that, we are back. YouTube live stream wanted to go ahead and get started before I was ready, but we're always ready. Today is day number 15 of the 30-day, 1 mile per day challenge. You guys have been showing up every single day, supporting the journey, becoming members, becoming subscribers, dropping the super chats, and helping the channel to be successful and grow. And I'm here, man, to help you be successful and grow. I guess Common Sense Buffs is a Colorado football channel that not only talks football, but we want to succeed off the field. And one of the ways that we do that is through the 1 mile challenge. So we usually do this in the evenings. Didn't have time to do it in the evening yesterday because of some stuff in my life. But we're back again today. Today is day 15. So far, in the last 15 days, we've walked 14 miles. Today we're going to walk mile number 15. For those of you who started with me on day 1, can you believe we are already at day 15? Incredible. So what I do every day, or every time I'm on here walking with you, is I talk about things that I'm thinking about, things that I'm processing, and ways that I'm trying to improve myself as I go on this journey with you. So typically what I do, I walk on a treadmill. You can do this anywhere. You can walk outside, which is especially nice as the weather improves. But it just doesn't lend itself well to doing a video if I'm walking outside. Maybe I'll invest in some equipment to make that a little bit better. But this is what we have, and in life, you got to work with what you have. So this is what we have. So I walk on a treadmill. My pace is about 3 miles per hour. So that means I can get a mile done in about 20 minutes. And that's enough time to chop it up with you guys and hopefully motivate, encourage, inspire you to start on your journey. So why launch this part of the channel, right? Why integrate this into the channel? Well, it's because of Coach Prime's message that he wants his team to succeed on and off the field. And when we're talking about football, a lot of times we get into debates about certain players, depth chart, the coaching. But as you guys might notice, at the start of every single practice, those coaches are usually imparting more than just football wisdom into those players. They're talking about life things. And because they truly want those players to be successful on the field, but mostly they want them to be successful as men. And in order to be successful as a man, there's a lot of layers, right? It's not just who you are as a professional, it's who you are as a person, who you are in your physical health, who you are in your mental health, in your spiritual health, in your relational health, all areas that I'm trying to work on and improve. So we want to be a both and channel. We can talk about football and we can support the team when they're winning on the field, but it'd be a darn shame to have a winning team on the field that we support and we're not winning in our life. So what we want to do is we want them to go 9-3, 10-2 on the football field. We want to go 10-2 in our personal life. This is the season that you win a Big 12 championship. So I see some of y'all coming in here. Hey, just like when you visit somebody's house, man, wipe your feet on the mat. Let me know who you are, where you're tuning in from, what's inspiring you along on this journey, all right? So we got a couple of testimonials coming in. One of my favorite ones is from Harold Mitchell. He's in his 60s. He is a foster parent. He's been bringing foster kids into his home all his life. And he's gotten a little bit out of shape. And he brought some new kids into his home. He wants to get back in shape so he can be there for them for the long term. And be able to be physically fit enough to engage with them and take care of them and support them. And so that was a great testimonial. He's been here every single day for the last 14 days. I'm sure he's going to be here on day number 15. So talk to me. What are you doing right now to improve your physical health and conditioning? What are you doing? What goals might you have in other parts of your life? Maybe on the financial side, relational side, etc. Let's talk about it. So what you might have seen from the thumbnail is no matter what. And I think that's really the attitude that separates people who achieve their goals and people who don't. You gotta over time, and it doesn't start overnight, right? So I'm not talking about something that somebody might be born with. Oh, this person's been that way since they were 2 years old. I'm talking about people who over time through life have built up the identity out of which the attitude, no matter what, emanates, right? That attitude emanates out of a certain identity. On this channel, we don't only talk about the actions that you take, but who you are. And that's really where the real work happens, right? And so it's like a virtuous cycle. The work that you do reinforces your identity, and your identity influences the work that you do, right? It's the yin and the yang, right? It's the action and the reaction. They both work together. The chicken or the egg, which one comes first, right? Is it the habits that come first, then the success? Or is it because of the success that you're seeing that reinforces the habit? It doesn't really matter. It is part of a cycle. And life is a cycle. Day and night, good and bad, right? Up and down, fast and slow. You don't always want to go fast, even though fast is good. Sometimes you can go slow to go fast. These are the mysteries. These are the paradoxes of life. So what we're talking about here is how do you develop a no matter what attitude that comes out of a certain identity, and that's what we build every single day on this channel. And so foundationally, what we started with is you just need to set a goal and stick to it. Now, there are going to be times along these 30 days that you're going to face challenges that are going to make it seem like you don't have the time to walk 1 mile a day. Like I said, I walk a 3-mile pace and I get a mile done in 20 minutes. So let's say you wake up anywhere from for my early birds, maybe 5 a.m. My folks who like to sleep in a little bit later but still got a 9 to 5, maybe 7 a.m. If you got kids, you got to get to school, right? So you're in that range between 5 to 7. Could you find 20 minutes in that situation? All right, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay. Well, let's go further down then. Let's look at your lunchtime. How much time do you actually have for lunch? Okay, well, I have 30 minutes for lunch. I have 1 hour for lunch. Could you squeeze it in then, right? Could you eat your lunch maybe in 15, 20 minutes? Take another 20 minutes, walk the block. If you work in a warehouse, some of these warehouses are huge. You can walk around the warehouse. Something, right? You can squeeze it in. No, it's not gonna work. All right, well, what about after work? Pick up the kids, if you have them. You know they gotta do homework, you know you gotta make dinner, you're already tired from a long day. Then you squeeze in 20 minutes there before you go to bed. You gotta find the time, right? And so by making a goal of, I'm gonna walk a mile a day for 30 days, it's now gonna present you with ample opportunities to now develop the habit of no matter what. Because in order to walk a mile in 30 days, if you haven't done it before, not only does it seem like a lot, 1 mile, 30 days, that's a lot. You're gonna have things happen over that 30-day period that's gonna make it even harder, right? So most people, one, don't even start, right? And then typically what they do is they look at me and be like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Who are you to try to start a channel to inspire people, right? The mind starts to get involved. And we've talked about over the last 14 days how tricky the mind can be. So the mind is designed to conserve energy. When you set a goal, I'm gonna walk a mile a day for 30 days, all the mind hears is, oh, he's committing to spending a lot of energy. No. We don't want to do that. Our whole objective as his mind is to conserve energy. So what the mind is going to do is going to start bringing up the old excuses that it's used in the past that has worked effectively to make sure that you conserve energy. So I see y'all in here, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. Let this content get out to more like-minded people. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to us. I'd really appreciate it. It supports the channel. It keeps us growing. So because your mind wants to conserve that energy, every time you set a goal that requires energy, your mind automatically goes into conservation mode. It tries to shut that down. Now, because we live in America and convenience is so readily available, all of the tools to keep you comfortable are right at hand. So the mind has a whole bunch of easy options to get you to conserve energy. You got your phone, you're gonna scroll. You got Netflix, you're gonna watch TV. You got Uber Eats, you're gonna order in. You got all these conveniences to keep you from ever having to really do something challenging for an extended period of time. And because the conveniences are so many and so readily available, people now in today's society have to find artificial ways in their life to do hard things. And some of y'all are saying, you don't know my life, son. Don't speak on my life. My life is hard. Okay, I get it. What I'm saying is, if you just do what the vast majority of people have to do to survive in this society, you won't get to your higher level self, is what I'm saying. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you're in a hurry. The convenient thing to do is to pop whatever you have in the freezer into the microwave, or grab a donut or something and just get that sugar rush. That act of convenience right there is easy. What would be harder is to crack open a few fresh eggs, make you a high protein breakfast, put a pot of oatmeal on, and eat that. But your brain, knowing that that is the better option, is going to do everything that it can in an effort to conserve energy to try to get you to take the easy way out. This is the conflict that is happening within all of us. Guys, I suffer with it every single day. Always wanting to choose the easy thing. Every good decision feels like it almost comes all the way down to the wire. Right? Even this decision to walk today. Man, I had like 15 million reasons why I shouldn't walk today. Why I should put it off for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or do it this evening, or do it tomorrow. That's what the mind is so good at. And it knows you better than you know yourself, consciously. Because the mind that we're talking about is where your identity is derived, which is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind knows you, conscious mind, better than you do. Right? So the work that we have to do is not the work in the conscious mind. The conscious mind is what we hear, what we're in communication with, that is telling us what the subconscious mind is feeding it. And so in a lot of situations, and I suffer from this, you can't trust your conscious mind. You can't trust your conscious mind. Because oftentimes it is not speaking with the voice of who you want to be. It doesn't know that voice. All it knows and what it is a perfect record of who you have been. That's what your mind is. A perfect record of who you have been. All your mind, if you're not consciously trying to have a different thought, is going to remind you of is everything that you already are. Why? Because it doesn't have any storehouse to draw from otherwise. So what we have to do every day is make deposits into the mind of the person that we desire to be. And over time, an accumulation of those deposits are going to be the thoughts upon which the mind draws. For example, I'm going to start walking 1 mile a day. That is an action. Question: am I a person who walks 1 mile a day? Now, if I haven't been walking 1 mile a day, I am not that person. Therefore, the mind is going to do everything it can to remind you or try to get you to not be the person that walks 1 mile a day. That is the war that you're going to have until you get to the point where your identity shifts. And how do you shift identity? By making yourself, no matter what, walk 1 mile a day. And it doesn't have to be hard, guys. Walking is a very effective form of exercise. And that's another thing people take for granted. They think that, like, you gotta have some crazy diet, you gotta lift an insane amount of weights, you gotta do 100,000 sit-ups to get in shape. That's not the way it works, guys. It's the little things that are easy to do, that are easy not to do. The question is, are you gonna become identified as the person that does certain things, right? And that comes with a lot in life, right? Because it's never just one thing that we need to work on. You know, it's not that your mind is separate from your body, and your body is separate from your from your spirit, and your spirit is separate from your emotions, and your emotions are separate from your relationships, and your relationships are separate from your finances. It's all one, right? And that's what it means by becoming a whole person, that you have to work on the whole person. But the healthiest way to start integrating the whole person is through just walking. It's through just walking. It's going to give you that foundation, because you're building all of this stuff on a foundation. Right? Good mental health built on the foundation of good physical health. Good spiritual health is built on the foundation of good physical health. And we all have access to the tools to continue to improve our physical health. Number one, just be active, just move. Number two, be mindful of what you put in your body. That's it. Move to whatever capacity you can, and be mindful of what you put in your body. And so I struggle, of course, but one of the things I'm getting more consistent at is movement. Food part of it, I'm still a long way away, but I'm making progress, and there's nothing better than progress to reinforce human behavior. So we're on the last lap right now, y'all. 3 mile per hour pace, 1 mile challenge. We're walking mile number 15, light work. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining me here every single day. We're gonna keep this thing going for the next 30 days. And then if you're a fan of the Colorado Buffaloes, one of our now 890 subscribers, I appreciate you. Most of this personal leadership development content is eventually going to be available to members only. So if you're not a founding member already, consider becoming a founding member. Memberships are now available. If you like the content, you're getting value out of it, subscribe. Hit that like button. And join us on Tuesday for our Colorado Buffaloes film study videos. Thursday for roster updates. This Thursday we're going to be talking about the offensive roster. We're probably going to get into the go-go offense a little bit. And then on Saturday we got the biggest, the largest Colorado Buffaloes community show every Saturday at noon. You should tap in for that, man, if you're a lover of all things Colorado football. We had a great live show yesterday. A lot of special guests were in the house in the comments, letting their voices be heard. So appreciate you guys for helping us build this community, man. We want to not only be a fan base that can be proud and happy with the product that the Buffaloes put on the field every Saturday this fall, but that we can be proud and excited about the product that we put out in our lives every single day. So let's create a virtual cycle today. Let's do something today that starts to turn the flywheel, where the no matter what attitude becomes integrated with a no matter what identity. And they both begin to feed each other. Where every good action reinforces a positive identity, and that positive identity gets you to do that positive action. Guys, when you start to do that, you start to now tap into the compound effect. The compound effect, which we'll talk about the compound effect on the next 1 mile a day challenge. Now, when is going to be the next one? It's going to be tomorrow. We're here every single day, walking 1 mile a day. So hopefully you're going to join us tomorrow. If you missed the full session today, we'll be back, or you can watch it on the replay, because it's going to be available on the channel. All right, so I'm going to close this thing out like I do every single walk. I pray that the Almighty is blessing you. I pray that He's keeping you in good health. I pray that whatsoever your hands find to do prospers. If you're going through a hard time, just remember, hard times don't last forever. Until next time, peace.